Shannon, whose side are you on, Draymond's or Barkley's?
Draymond. Absolutely, 1,000% on Draymond Green's side. Skip, I'm not trained in journalism. I don't have a journalism degree. I didn't have a degree in public policy. But the one thing that I know is that I'll report a story, I'll talk about a story, but I won't become a part of the story.
You know the ground rules.
Yes.
Yeah.
Charles Barkley allowed himself to become a part of the story.
Yeah.
Now, he said, if Charles would have said, back in my time, Draymond doing all this talking, I'd have put a hard foul on him. You're talking about it in the context of a ball game, doing a normal basketball play. But to say someone should punch the man, which is not a basketball play, and then to take it a step further says, I want to punch him in the face. That's over the line.
Yeah.
And Charles knows better than this. Charles has gotten too old. He's not going to punch anybody. Because if he wanted to punch somebody, there are ample times he could have punched Charles Oakley. Hey, as a matter of fact, he can go punch Oak right now. If he want Oak number, I give it to him, and he can go punch Oak. And I tell you, Oak will show up wherever he wants to show up at, and he can punch it.
And Oak will punch back.
First of all, he ain't going to punch Oak.
Yeah,
First of all,
and nobody wants those problems.
No. First of all, he don't even want to be in a room with Oak. But Skip, why would you do this? Why would I sit back, do what I do, and then say, man, if that was me, I would slap such and such. I want to punch this. I want to punch. Why? I get it. That's what they do. And they do a very good job on TNT. It's raw. They give it to you unfiltered. But Charles stepped across the line on this. He didn't walk up to the line. He stepped over because he made it personal. He says, not in the context of a basketball play giving him a hard foul. He wants to take it to the streets, and I want to punch him in the face. Charles, let that go, man. You're big. You're too big for this. I get the point. I get what you're trying to say, that Draymond runs up in everybody's face. He's always getting intertwined. He's tangling, mixing up with everybody. If someone were to hard foul him or something, it would go away. But to take it to the step where someone should punch him in the face, or I want to punch him in the face, it's the I that I have a problem with.
So I do agree with one thing you just said. Inside the NBA isn't just a good show. It's a great show.
Yes.
And they have great chemistry.
Yes.
And I watch it. I watched the whole thing late last night. But let's take the literal conclusion to what Charles suggests should happen. Let's say somebody on the Pelicans decided, that's enough. I'm gonna deck him.
Right.
And he punches Draymond in the face and just cold cocks it. What would happen to said player?
Oh, he's going to be gone at least 30 games.
Okay, he's going to be gone for the rest of the playoffs and a good bit of next year.
Absolutely.
Half of next year. I don't know. Ron Artest, once upon a bad time, went up in the stands, as we know, the malice at the Palace.
Yes.
And he went after a fan, but he wound up being suspended for 86 games. And the current commissioner is not that commissioner, but I'm pretty sure he would come down real hard on this.
Even Steven Jackson got suspended for about 30-plus games. Jermaine O'Neal.
Oh, you got that right. So, who is Draymond? He's an instigator.
Yeah.
He's mostly a talker.
Rodman-esque.
Yeah. Somewhat Rodman-esque. He's probably a little more sly than Dennis.
Yes.
And what he is to me is a more subtle and skilled and talented Lance Stevenson.
Yes.
He's got some Lance in him, except he's just a better player.
Right.
Obviously, he's a triple-double waiting to happen. But he's more subtle to what he does. He's more pointed. He's more whisper in your ear. He's just trying to distract you from what you do.
Right.
Is he a cheap shot artist? I think not. I don't see him cheap shot. You want to talk about the ultimate cheap shot artist? It's that Zaza cheap shot on his bench, right? That guy's a cheap shot artist. That's the only reason he's in the league.
But you remember, Skip, Draymond for about 3 years thought he was a Rockette. So every time he shot a jumper, he was kicking people.
Yeah, he was. I'll give you that. But I still don't think of him as a dirty player.
No.
I just don't.
He plays the game hard.
Chris Paul can go borderline gray area where I'm thinking, God, that looks a little dirty to me. That looks like a low blow to me. Not that Draymond didn't go low blow before. But in the end, look, Charles, let's just do it this way. Charles at age 28, which is Draymond right now, if they met, so to speak, this is hypothetical. I'm not trying to suggest that they should or would, but if they met, I think Charles would whip Draymond if they were both 28 years of age.
Right.
Because Charles was not that he was mentally tough, but I think he was a physically tough guy, and he went about 6'5"-ish, 250-ish, maybe.
Probably 6'4"-ish.
Yeah, maybe 6'4"-ish, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Draymond's 6'7"-ish, maybe 2-3 inches taller.
Yeah.
But the point is, to Joy's point, I'm not suggesting I want that to happen. But this is Charles. This is just vintage Charles because he is knee-jerk emotional. He's just going to spill. And if I may slightly personalize this, Charles has said about me many times on national TV, I would like to kill him. Yeah. The word is kill, the operative word, K-I-L-L. So many times we have asked Charles to come sit right here and explain to me face-to-face why he would like to kill me. And, of course, I'm going to respond to whatever he says. And Charles has, through his network, declined every time. So I'm still open. I'm like Draymond in my own way. I'm saying, I'm here. I don't want to, I don't want you to punch me in the face. I'm not going to punch you in the face, but I'd like to talk about it. And he hasn't accepted the invitation, which remains open.
Man, I ain't all that talking, man. I ain't got time for all that talk. All that tongue wrestling, I ain't about all that. And people that talking about
wait a second, you were only the greatest trash talker in the history of pro football.
I was talking about getting the guy's head. I wasn't talking about fighting. Because if you got to talk about fighting, you ain't about fighting.
That is true. I will buy that.
So when if you're going to do something, you just roll up on somebody. Oh, what? Bam. That's what. So all that going around and around and this and that, going back and forth. But my thing is, Skip, Charles Barkley's been retired 20 years. And to say, if he wants to say, back in the day when I was playing, guys that played like a Draymond, we hard fouled them. And we put a stop to all that foolishness. And they did. I mean, that was a tough era. I was watching highlights of Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas was literally boxing people. He was swinging at people's heads when he played. Isaiah would have spent 2 years out of the league. Because if he were to do that, if a guy were to do what Isaiah and what those guys were doing back then, Skip, they'd done away with that.
It was a whole different ballgame. And that's why, just a quick reference to last night, Kevin Love, late in the game, got called for the elbow, which accidentally, I don't think he intended to catch DeMar right in the jaw, and he hit him flush. But back in the day, Shaq on Inside the NBA afterward defended him because he said, we're taught not to swing the elbow, but to swing your body to protect the basketball because he's fighting for a loose ball, right? You could say he walked with it, but I don't think he had control of it yet. So just me, the game I grew up sort of learning through the 80s, that doesn't get called, man. No. That's just an accident.
Skip, think about how Dikembe Mutombo used to get the ball and have his elbows out like this here and come around and was catching people.
And if you happen to get in his way, it's on you.
I bet you won't try to reach in and take it anymore. But I just believe Charles stepped across the line. I get what they do. And like you said, they do a wonderful job. But you can't make it personal. You can't interject yourself into that situation and say, I want to do that to that person.
Yeah, I'm with you. Bottom line, to me, if I can translate what Charles is saying, back in his day, we would have taken that guy out with a hard foul. We would have gotten very physical with him, maybe a cheap foul, one that you'd say is borderline, one that they would call today a flagrant foul.
Absolutely. Right? And you up out of the game.
But
it's bad.
You gotta be careful saying it so literally. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.